Okay, so back here, we're going to do a little tour of the village slash town I've created. It is the last room I showed you, and I've expanded into the square in the western halls, another 2-pillar resource room, completely cleared out and updated. So I'm building out this village, obviously in the western halls. I'm repairing the other buildings, going to clean it all up, and this is where I figure the dwarves would stay as we establish a stronghold in the western entrance. So to our right is a smithy. This is my take on the smithy. Well, looks like DoorDash arrived. Little caught me by surprise. I didn't hear him. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so here's my take on the smithy. Let me step back. I got an interesting roof line. I've been using adamant barriers, the stout barriers, to hold up the roof line, and it seems very stable, particularly when you attach it to solid columns or large columns. Adamant columns will do, but the ones in the room are just perfect. I did a simple arch. I incorporated the columns for the room. Put a little loft up there. I was going to go put a pallet of resources and a chest just to be funny up there. There, I put some old weapons I had from one of the games. I put one on the forge and suit of armor. Weapons rack holding tools. So just a general display. Opposite is a crafting area. So a little hearth. I did the small area to hold the sun lamps, just like in the ones you can repair. They've got wood tops and bottoms to those little cubbies. All the crafting stuff is here. I had to go farm another world for elven wood. Been using a lot of it lately. Okay, so we've got our 2 crafting areas. So remember, in the original room you have the town hall, an inn, a brewery, and a bar and grill, plus a bunch of facades. So here you have generic crafting and then blacksmithing. Straight ahead you have a luxury townhouse. There's 2 back-to-back, extra high ceilings with adamant floors, full kitchens, stove, grill, bakery, hearth. Put in a set of narrow stairs by embedding it into the wall. Just generic furnishings till we get better ones. And I figure the constable and the sheriff and other people would live in these 2. We'll tour down here. Now this room, this building, has a split foyer. It is a large administrative building. It's also the jail and the courthouse. I really like how this wound up. So I've been using the adamant barriers, as I was saying, connected to the pillars for structural integrity. That's working great. But I happened to embed, this is kind of by accident, the stone underneath, and I thought the adamant would cover it up, but it pokes through now and again, and it gives this really cool effect. Really like that. Alright, so we walk in here to the split foyer, and if you go down, I know we don't have bars or a gate, but here is a prison cell for 2 prisoners. Figured dwarves being drunk and disorderly, or maybe to capture a goblin or 2. And there's 3 prison cells, and then a kitchen feed the prisoners. I opened up all the doors ahead of time. This is an administrative office for the sheriff and an exit. Now upstairs, we have the judge's office, but I don't have any furnishings for obvious reasons. I figured the municipal buildings should be relatively plain. And I've kept that throughout. Alright, so here's where people would be arraigned for their charges. There's a little stage, little judge's desk, court reporter, whatever over here. Oh, I lost a piece of floor. That's a bummer. I'll have to figure out why later. This has survived multiple reloads so far, so I'm pretty sure that it's something minor. Next, I will show you a large garrison building. This leads out to a hallway that leads to a gate that we haven't opened yet. We're almost ready to get the last piece of Durin's axe. We just hit the lower city of Durodelph. Alright, piece of rock. So this is one large building. It's in an L shape. It is the local garrison. I'll take you in this door. This is the garrison's kitchens. Feed the troops. On the lower floor you have weapons and a fighting mat to practice, because you know your best troops practice. I had an extra suit of armor, just put it up there. Upstairs you have the bunkhouse for 8 guards or soldiers, personal trunks or footlockers, armor and weapon racks, and then the sergeant's off quarters. Little private room, slightly better bed. So that top ridge of adamant above the windows provides a very strong structural support for the roof. I've had a lot less collapse when I embed each one of the roof tiles into the adamant. And I noticed that that's what was happening in most of the created structures that I've been repairing in the game. Of course, I put a lot of wood paneling up here. Thought it looked really nice. Some cross beams just for support. Add extra support if you can. In this case, it's a municipal building, so aesthetically it works. And it makes sure that no matter how it loads, the structure is very sound. Okay, again, I opened up all these doors. This leads to another hall, which I've repaired. So this area had a feature. It was another hearth mother, or what I'm calling the hearth mother, and so I put in a set of gardens just because. And so you have what I'm calling the fruit stand. So some dwarf here would be buying and selling fruit and vegetables, and then up here you have a large growing area for crops. And I just picked some random crops that I thought would mix up the colors a little bit. In real life I have a black thumb, so I'm not really growing anything, but I thought it looked nice like that. Here's the other townhouse. Now again, these two are back to back, so it's the same building. Extra high ceilings, narrow stairs, 2 general living quarters upstairs with the kitchen downstairs. I tried to appoint each one of these slightly different, but there's not enough variety in the game to really call it too much different. Now I can say there are a couple features of this building I really like. I used some adornments, and that adornment wraps all the way around the building. And I was just trying various styles. I'm still getting wandering monsters and goblins through here occasionally. This was nice. I started messing with these ridged pieces. I thought they turned out pretty good, actually. Just a little adornment to make things pop. Alright, so we've got our gardens, we've got our jail and courthouse, we've got our dual luxury townhouses, our barracks, our gardens, the statue honoring the hearth mother, the fruit vegetable stand. So in back of the crafting area, you have the blacksmith's house. Now this is just a facade. I did like how this balcony turned out compared to the other one, which I still haven't figured out a way to fix. And this blacksmith's house is adorned mostly with stone and wood. Wanted to give a rustic feel. Pretty simple abode. Nothing fancy in here. You go upstairs, there's a room. I didn't really decorate it. Wooden ceiling and a balcony, which I thought was a nice feature. And that's it. This is my second area. Second one of those 2-pillar resource rooms, completely gutted, laid out, repaired, floors put on level and square with foundations. And I started laying out where I wanted buildings and what I wanted them to be. By the way, these top floor juts out over the bottom floor. Nice detail there. Did a nice overhang. Also very stable in that configuration. So just to show you, I have been cleaning up the outer halls as best I can. Really need a broom in this game. I mean, I wish I could get rid of all that. It looks awful. I mean, like, grab a shovel, yeah. And there's just a lot of it. And then, of course, I started repairing buildings. This facade actually was damaged. It's always been a facade. There's nothing else behind it, but it was damaged, which is odd because most facades look like this in this area. And, of course, you can't even try to fix them. Whereas this facade, you could. See, health 100. So I repaired the floor, and then in that hallway area, and then I started to repair these buildings here. I did add a door, repaired the grist mill and the stove. here's one of those walls. It's 100%, but it looks like heck. Don't really get that. I mean, if it's going to be damaged, then make it damaged so it's easier to get rid of. By the way, tip, do not use your pickaxe on that. Not the Quarry Master, anyway. Not the Quarry Master. A lower level pickaxe, like a steel pickaxe or whatever, that's fine. But remember, you pick and then you repair around it, pick and then you repair around it. Oh, missed one. But yeah, here's 100%, but it's 21 right below it, and if you're not careful, one hit, this entire wall and the building will fall down. And I have not finished repairing up here. I know the ceiling, we don't have these pieces yet, nor the squares, or the corners, which is a little disappointing. And I was going to remove a piece of this railing, but I was worried about damaging everything else around it. Anyway, so have yet to fix this up. And that's it. I've come around to where I am. Alright, well, there's another video. I hope you enjoyed the new area and the new buildings, including the luxury townhouses, the court and jail, the barracks, the blacksmith, the artistry shop, the artisan shop, and then of course the blacksmith's house, as well as the gardens. I think the gardens turned out quite well. Anyway, alright, well, I hope you enjoyed.